Hello and welcome to another really exciting video where we are replacing fuel filter on my friend's Volkswagen Golf 3 as part of basic maintenance. So as you can see here, things look really crusty and I'm really concerned right now. I kind of don't want to do this anymore if I have to be honest. But we'll see how that goes. So as you can see, we have two clamps, one here and one there. You can see it here, and we have two bolts, nuts that we need to undo in order to drop the whole um, fuel filter housing and hopefully replace it. So my friend here is telling me that this was replaced about 40,000 kilometers ago, and I find it really hard to believe because this looks really old and busted. So I'm kind of suspecting that his previous mechanic lied to him. I cannot confirm it for sure, but by the looks of it, I mean, I'm gonna see the date on the filter, maybe that will tell the truth. But yeah, right now it looks really bad. Okay, so I'm gonna stop yapping and start working. So I think I'm first going to try remove those nuts here because they look really crusty and I'm kind of concerned if they're gonna come out. Hopefully they will. I'm not sure what size they are. They look like maybe a 17, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna check. And yeah. Okay, so those 17 millimeters came out no problem, thankfully. The inner one here was a little bit stuck, but it also went loose. Now we can remove the two Phillips screws that hold the clamps for the fuel lines, and hopefully those fuel lines are not too stuck on the filter. Because, yeah, if they are, that would suck, but we'll see. Okay, so I removed those two nuts here, and I also loosened the clamps as I said. Or I forgot if I said it in the previous clip, but anyways, they're disconnected. The clamps are loose, and I disconnected the first one, and now I'm gonna drop this thing fully and remove the second fuel line. They can get a little bit stuck, but you just kind of go back and forth like this, like twist it a bit, like back and forth, so that it can loosen and drop and come out, and that's it. And now there's this last fuel line remaining, and the whole filter housing will come out. Also, I recommend you to put the cap from your new filter here so that you can prevent fuel from leaking whilst you remove the other fuel line. Okay, so I removed the whole filter housing, and I had a little bit of a fight with the other fuel line. It was really stuck, so I ended up using pliers and just gently wiggle it off, being mindful not to damage the actual fuel line. And now we're ready to actually install the new filter. Here's the new filter, and you really need to be mindful of those arrows here, those pointers. You also have pointers on the filter housing here and also down here. So basically the direction, this comes from your fuel tank. So this is the fuel line that comes from the tank from the fuel pump, and this is the one that goes to the engine, the filtered fuel, towards that direction. So you reinstall it the same way into the filter housing, and then you need to connect the. You need to be mindful of the fuel lines when you connect them. You need to make sure that you connect the fuel line that comes from the tank here and the one that goes to the engine here, and that's it pretty much. This filter, I'm still not sure if it was actually replaced. It looks a bit. It looks muddy of all things, but yeah, maybe it was replaced. I don't know. Also, use the caps from your new filter to prevent fuel from coming out of here, because this is still filled with fuel. And yeah, okay. So I'm gonna put the new filter back into the housing. It just pops out. Then I'm gonna reinstall the whole housing with the nuts, and then I'm gonna reinstall the fuel lines. Okay, so now the whole filter housing with the new filter is reinstalled, and now all that's left to do is to reconnect those fuel lines here, and then we can try and start the car. We just need to prime it first, which is basically cycling the ignition a few times so that the fuel pressure can build back up. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, so after I snapped one of the original clamps and then I snapped one brand new one, the filter is replaced. So yeah, let's see if the car will start. Alright. Okay, so now we're ready to... Well, my friend is ready to test his car after we replaced the fuel filter. Also, besides the fuel filter, we also replaced all the rest of the filters, like the cabin filter, the air filter, and also the oil filter, because we replaced the oil, so basically the whole maintenance. So let's see what will happen. You need to prime it a few times, like cycle the key. Well, yeah, you can do it like that as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. I definitely recommend you to go on a lift, because it will make the job much easier, but if you don't have access to one, it's doable, obviously. Just needs a bit of, persuasion and also patience, because it's really tight down there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.